And Sheriff Villanueva, I follow you on Twitter, and you were the first authority to confirm that the suspect was still alive, had been injured and in custody. Can you fill me in more on that?
Well, we had two leads. We had the eyewitnesses at the scene of the crime who gave a very good description. We went through surveillance video of the shooting itself. We had a good description there. And then it turns out that one of the very first injured students that was evacuated is the suspect, who is now in custody and being treated at a local hospital.
And one of my early questions would have been, and now it really fits together, how the age pops so quickly. I mean, it wasn't that this person was just a teenager or a minor, but you had that 15-year-old, and you had a description perhaps of ethnicity. So talk to me about the vetting process as you are picking up students who are injured and evacuating, because that's where your detective work really begins.
Oh, yeah, they got a long day ahead of them now, because they're going to have to screen through and vet lots of eyewitnesses, a lot of physical evidence, a very large crime scene. And then at the same time, we're going through the reunification process with the parents, obviously concerned, and the students. So it's we got a lot of work ahead of us.
How soon was it discovered that the suspect was among those injured that were being taken off that high school campus?
That was actually it evolved over time, because we had a description from the eyewitnesses, and then the deputy personnel who were the injured at the hospital, they were matching that description with the one there. And then when we confirmed with the video surveillance, we were fairly certain. And at that point, we said, okay, let's end the panic unnecessarily. Let people know we do have a suspect in custody. So we're confident now we have the right person.
Well, and Sheriff, at first we knew from local reports there in Los Angeles through media that there was no longer a threat. Does that coincide with the fact that you had the suspect in the hospital already? Had you already determined at that point that there was nobody else to be looking for? What determines that there's no longer a threat to the community at that point?
When we have an identifiable suspect in custody, and then we have no indication that there's others involved, other suspects. So at that point, then we can definitely ratchet down our concern level, because now we'll deal with the aftermath of the shooting, but we do know those that are responsible are in custody.
Sheriff Villanueva, I'm also curious to know whether this person was a known problem to the school, if there were previous threats, or just any in general, maybe not even connected with the suspect. I want to know, kind of, if you can, the constellation of information that was out there about any threats toward the school.
Well, that's the information that our homicide detectives are gathering as we speak. So we'll have a clearer picture as the day progresses.
Okay. And these other students, right before you came on air with me, and again, I want to let everybody know, Los Angeles County Sheriff joining us via phone right now, ahead of the news conference that we are waiting to begin, the bottom right of your screen that's not quite lit up yet, because they're not there yet. We're awaiting that. But ahead of that, we are fortunate to have the sheriff in L.A. Sheriff, if you could tell me what the situation is with the search of the premises of what we thought was maybe the suspected shooter's home. We weren't sure. We could see reports of a wait for a warrant. We could see officers there taking a screen off the window. One of our reporters described a garage door going up.
That, yeah, they executed a search warrant of the premise of the suspect's residence. And now they have a chance to go through, once they clear the location, now they're going to go through with the detectives and start looking for evidence. And they'll be pulling the hard drives, getting through all the digital footprints to figure out what led up to this tragedy, and we'll have a better idea.
All right. And I was going to say right before you joined me that we had gotten word that there has been a death among those who were injured. Can you tell me anything about that? We had one female, two male patients reported at hospitals locally who were in critical condition.
Yes, we understand we had 2 in critical condition plus the shooter, and apparently the hospital tweeted out that one of those 2 passed away.
All right. Thank you for being with me. I know you are going to the news conference now. Los Angeles Sheriff Villanueva, appreciate your time.